Which Torah?
Okay, so I want to learn a short Torah here. Maybe tomorrow morning we'll try to learn before davening also, but we'll learn something with it's more shaykh for Mochim, the godless of the morning, or for the night, after all these hours in the van. So we're going to do something very short. I said Reish Ein, I meant, sorry, Reish Ein Bez. It's written Ein Reish Bez, yeah. Because we don't want to say Rab, so we say Arev.
Cool.
Anyway.
Arev.
Arev. Yeah, that's how it's written down. Okay.
Learn something every day.
So, I once heard a word from Reb Mendel of Rimenov, still see again later, Rebbe Nachman of Rimenov. He said that when we say that the Torah is an Eitz Chaim Hila Machzik, he said that Eitz Chaim comes from the Lashon Eitzos Tovos L'Chaim Nitzchim. We learned this in Shir in Shabbos morning a few weeks ago. I'm not testing it. Eitzos Tovos L'Chaim Nitzchim means that the Torah is Eitz comes from the Lashon of Eitzah, of advice. The Torah gives advice to actually be alive, to actually be alive. It's very intimidating whenever anyone learns Rebbe Nachman, whenever anyone teaches Rebbe Nachman. To do it right over here next to the kever is, some would call it insanity. But we're here, and it's not about us, it's about the Ribono Shel Olam and Kavod Shemayim. So, Hareinu Mekashim Atzmeinu L'chol HaTzidikim Amitim Sheb'Doreinu L'chol HaTzidikim Amitim Shochim Ha'afar HaKadoshim Asher Ba'aretz Hema B'Frat L'Rabbeinu HaKadosh Tzadik Yisod Ha'olam Nachal Nodenu Kol Chochma Rabbeinu Nachman B'Mefeg Yischusi Yagen Aleinu V'al Kol Am Yisrael.
Amen.
So, Rebbe Nachman's eitzes, his Torahs, are to enable us to actually be alive. If you have to sum up, like, if you have to sum it up in one sharp, one like a sharp nakuda, he wants us to be alive while we're alive and not dead while we're alive. He wants us to be alive. He wants us to be able to feel that everything is possible. His eitzes are to enable us to actually look at life, wake up in the morning and look at everything we have to do today, and actually not have a whole breakdown. To be able to handle what the day is all about. So in this short Torah, Rebbe Nachman says something which psychologically, I'm sure many therapists use. It's just a very pashut eitzah, just like the eitzah we learned this morning by the Baal Shem Tov. If you implement this pashut eitzah, it really is life transforming. And I tried this a few times the last few months to mamish do this. The last few months, this Torah is like very, very close to me right now. In the last few months, I've gone through this a few times that I stopped myself during the day and I went back to this Torah in my head and I said, am I living this Torah or not? And if I'm not, where do I find myself slacking off with it? Why am I not swallowing this Torah up? It's lifestyle. So look inside. Rebbe Nachman quotes like this. It says in Tehillim, Hayom im bekolo tishmo. We say this also in Kabbalat Shabbat, in the first Mizmor, in the Chunra Anena, Hayom im bekolo tishmo. Today, if you listen to his voice. Now, the Gemara speaks about this. I think it's Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, that he comes up to Mashiach and he asks him, when are you coming? And he says, Hayom im bekolo tishmo. Today, if you listen to Hashem's voice. But Rabbi Nachman is going to focus on the word Hayom. And everyone knows that the last 6 or 7 parshas in the Torah, that word Hayom is re-emphasized over and over and over again today. Because what do you have other than today? Nothing. You have nothing. What do we have other than right now? We don't have Hadish. We're not there yet. We don't have Shachris tomorrow morning. We're not there yet. What do we have? We have what we've chosen to do with our time right now. That's all we have. But we forget that. That's the mitzias. That's the reality. But my mind is kind of thinks that I already have tomorrow, and I already have this Shabbos, and I already have everything else. Why? Because I was taught that being a responsible adult means that I plan ahead, and that I don't leave things for the last second, and that I have my priorities straightened out, and I have everything taken care of. But unless you're a complete shlamazel, even if you don't have tomorrow fully taken care of, you don't have to hold on to tomorrow today. You really don't have to. You really don't have to. So look what the Rebbe says inside. Hayom im bekol tishmau, zeh klal gadol b'avodas Hashem. This is a, how do you say klal in English?
Klal.
This is a general principle in avodas Hashem, a big one. Shelo yasim leneged einav ki mos hayom. That the only thing you place before your eyes is that day, that specific day. Whatever you have right now in front of you, you have nothing else. Hein de'esek parnasa, and that's the big one that we're always thinking about. Whether it's regarding parnasa, tachlis, money, veitzarchusa, tzarich shelo yachshov miyom lachaveiro. He's saying something that it's very hard for us to do, especially in today's day and age. He's saying, don't start cheshboning out, will I have enough for tomorrow? Or I'm planning that if I save up here, I'll have for here. He's saying, you have to worry that what you have for today, you have it. Because you don't have tomorrow. You have today. Look, when do we usually get these wake-up calls? When we come home from a levaya, chas v'shalom. We come from a levaya, what happens to us? We come from a funeral, we start asking ourselves for about 2 hours all the questions of what am I wasting my life on with worrying? Right? There's a person I know, someone in our kehillah, his wife, she needs a refuah shlema. She should have a refuah shlema b'kol mamish. And he said to me, you know, I've been saving up, and I realized, like, at what point am I going to keep on saving so I can go to the grave? Said that, Baruch Hashem, I saved so much. So I'm going to live this summer. I'm going to live in the next 2 months with my wife because I don't, you know. So when we have like the possibility that I may not have tomorrow, then what happens to me? Oh, then I have today. But in Mitzias, in the reality, you really don't have tomorrow. And we're all, and B'ez Hashem, we're all healthy, but we still don't have tomorrow.
Practically, if I plan a meeting out, let's say for next week, a big meeting, how would I not think about that and focus on today on a practical, secular level?
You don't have next week. You only have right now.
It's future tripping.
Don't dwell on it.
Don't dwell. Okay, it's there. You put it in your Uman. You know I'm gonna show up and have today that day on Wednesday. But right now I don't have that.
So you could like plan out the part of the preparation for next one thing that you need to do today. All you have is the preparation, the part of it that you need to do today.
That's not it today, it's for the next week. That's part of my day.
It's like trying to think ahead and not think ahead.
No, it's trusting yourself that you're going to show up for Wednesday because Wednesday is going to be today for you on Wednesday. But right now you're showing up for today because what happens to us? I'm so stuck on Wednesday. What did I lose? The gift of now. Look, all the mindful stuff that's going on right now, mindfulness, all this great stuff that's happening now in the world, that's what the whole thing is all about. It's talking about how do you get your mind settled to a place of right now Yeshuva Da'at. I heard last week a technique is like if you're a male and you have a beard, stroke your beard. Stroke your beard, go like this. This brings you to what's in front of you right now. He says, a friend of mine told me, he says that's why he thinks that rabbis, when they answer shilas, they go like this quite often because they want to come into the now and answer from a place of what's here right now. So you go like this. I don't know. That's true. But the whole school of thought of that chevra that are working with mindfulness with people are trying to bring you to the reality. What's the reality of life? That you only have right now. That's all you have. The fourth line in my opinion, also when it comes to avodas Hashem, not just parnasa. When it comes to serving God, lo yasim leneged einav ki im osa hayom ve'osa hasham. I have to have koyach for later, I have to have koyach for Mariv, I shouldn't waste all my koyach on Mincha now, because I want to be able to have a Geval for Mariv later. Right? That's not how we think, right? Or, I want to save my kochos for learning later, so I'm only going to learn, or whatever it is. Right? Whatever mitzvah haba li'adcha al tachmitzana, whatever mitzvah you have in front of you, at that moment, that's the only mitzvah you have. Now for men, this is much more shayach than for women, because of the whole concept of time-bound mitzvahs. Mitzvahs aseh shazman grama. So by a man, it really is this inyan of, all I have right now is the mitzvah, and if I don't do it right now, like the Alter Rebbe speaks about in Tanya, about what happens to you when you revatel, mitzvah aseh shazman grama, it's a mitzvah that can never come back, because it's time-bound. Okay, you have it tomorrow, and you missed it for today. So the whole thing is men need to be more conscious. That's why men need this more centrality and mind focus of right now, and that's how Chazal designed the Seder of mitzvahs aseh, to bring us into right now with time-bound mitzvahs. Okay? So he says this is also regarding Avodas Hashem. You have to just put whatever's in front of you right now, and that's all I have to do. Why? Why is Rebbe Nachman saying this is so important to focus on whatever is the mitzvah in front of you? For instance, right now, what's the only thing we have to be worried about right now? Just focus on it. There's nothing else we have to worry about. Everyone ate dinner, they have keys to their room, and we know more or less exactly how tomorrow morning is mapping out. What's the only thing we have to worry about right now? Being present. That's it. There's nothing else I have to think about right now. And that's usually the hardest thing in the world. That's why, when we sing a niggun, that's really to draw down that being here right now energy. That's really what it is. It's not sound. Rebbe Nachman says, why is this so important? When a person wants to go into Avodas Hashem, when I look at it, and I look at the whole of it, and everything I need to do about it, when I fall into the category of I want to become a yid, it's a heavy trip. Masa kaved means a heavy burden. It's a heavy masa. It weighs heavy on me. So Rebbe Nachman says, what ends up happening? A person is not thinking about today. He's thinking about everything. And that's not what the Rebbeinu Shalom wants you to feel, that Yiddishkeit is a heavy trip. Because you don't have everything. All you have is, like we said, is right now. It's too heavy of a trip for me to carry. When I think about when I'm going into Avodas Hashem, right? Let's say like this, a guy wants to make chazik himself, like for this trip, for instance, right? And then I go back to America, or I go back to Israel, I go back to my world. Now what happens to me when I made some resolutions during this trip where things got kind of misadai for me, and then I'm like, okay, the way I was here, this is how I want things to be. So Rebbe Nachman says, what will happen to you? The second you go and you think about all of it, and not just what you have right now, you won't even try. You'll give up before even trying. Because it's too heavy of a burden. But if all you know is that what's the next mitzvah that I'm supposed to be doing right now, that's all I'm supposed to be focusing about, it's not so heavy. I can deal with it. The load is not too, it doesn't weigh me down. It's fine. If a guy goes into Yom Kippur thinking, like Chazanim have this inyan, and I grew up seeing my father, Baruch Hashem, mastering this art of, if you know you have to daven Kol Nidrei Mariv, Musaf, and Ne'ilah, but in your mind you're cheshboning out how much koyach you think you might need to still have by Ne'ilah, trust me, you'll think you're saving your voice during Mariv, you're not saving your voice, you're not saying nothing. It doesn't work like that. Hashem gives us hitchachut of kochot when we least expect it. You don't have Ne'ilah. What do you have right now? Kol Nidrei. You don't have Mariv. You just have Kol Nidrei. That's all you have. So there's all you need of preserving our pacing yourself, and all that stuff. When it comes to Avodas Hashem and stuff like that, it doesn't really work. Pacing yourself means focusing on the only thing that I have. That's called healthy pacing of yourself. The tzaddik, Rav Moshe of Kubrin, I think it was Rav Moshe Kubriner when he was nifter. So Rav Mendel of Kotsk came to be Menachem Ava by the Kubriner. Rav Moshe Kubrin, he was one of the fathers in Slonim. Right? The Slonim were quotes the Rav Moshe Kubriner quite often. So the Kotzker came to see the Kubriner's family, or the Hasidim, and he said to them, I want to learn something about the Kubriner. What was one of his, tell me a meifus, tell me something amazing about him. So the Chevra said to the Koiskes, they said, you know, the truth is, there was nothing, I can't tell you anything insanely out of the box, like miraculous, but I'll tell you the most powerful thing about him. Whenever he was with a person, he was fully with that person and no one else existed in the world. When he was with the mitzvah, nothing else in the world existed besides that mitzvah. I saw this one time in my life with someone, and that was seeing the Am Shnover Rebbe say a bracha. When the Am Shnover Rebbe said a bracha, nothing else in the entire universe existed. And when you tell the Am Shnover Rebbe your heart, and you tell him one of your tzaras, I tell my chevra all the time. One time I was online and I whispered into his ear something I was going through. He jolted back. He jumped backwards, as if that's the only thing in the world he knew at that moment. That's kind of the secret of being like the divine and to being in the image of God, because Hashem Ekeinu, Hashem Echad, Hashem is one with everyone. If you could be one with everyone, if you could be one with every moment of your life, you've mastered the Torah of Hayom. Hayom. If we could be one right now with the moments we have right now, we have the whole world. But if while I'm talking to you, I also know I need koyach because I have 7 other people and they're going to ask me shaylas later. I don't have you, you don't have me, and the other 7 don't have my time either. I don't have them either. That ability to make someone feel like they're the only person in the world. You know who else did it? Who really did it? Rebbe Shlomo. We'll talk about him more tomorrow night. Okay, let's go back inside. But when you realize that all I have is today, is the next mitzvah is right now, it's not a burden. The Gam, Rebbe Nachman says, you don't prolong, you don't push it off, you don't keep on saying, tomorrow I'm going to start that diet. Tomorrow I'm going to start that Torah. Tomorrow I'm going to do the daf. Whoever says that with daf yomi, he's out already right then and there. Okay? I'm giving a koyach not to all the chevra that took it on. Tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow comes and suddenly tomorrow becomes tomorrow again. It doesn't work like that. Tomorrow I'll daven like I should be. No. Because Rebbe Nachman says, in a person in this world only has this day. He only has this hour that he has. Because tomorrow is a completely new world. It's a new existence. How many times did we sit at Shiva houses where people were saying, can you believe yesterday when he was here, when she was here, what the world looked like? And today, Olam acher legamre. No, Rebbe Nachman says the tachlis in this world is to reach those moments of awakening, of getting my act together, like we do when we react to death, without the need of a death to make us wake up to that reality. So this is what I feel. This Torah does exactly that, because it's not trying to scare you. It's not trying to frighten you, like saying, oh my God, you might not have tomorrow. All he's saying is, no. Right now, you don't have tomorrow. It's not a threat. It's just a reality. We don't have anything but the now. So therefore, he ends off over here, Hayom im bekolo tishmo. Hayom daika. Meaning, mamish, it's about today. It's about right now. So I give us a bracha. To realize that you could take this turn and totally cop out the rest of your life, saying, yeah, the Rebbe said all I have to worry about is right now. But what about? The Rebbe said, don't worry about it. That's not what we're talking about either. What we're talking about more is, don't worry. We trust ourselves. We're bali bechira. We're at least responsible enough that we know that I'm probably not going to leave myself with 0 money in the bank tomorrow. I'm probably going to leave myself with the reality that I'll be able to eat something tomorrow. I'll have clothes for myself. Well, not always, but I'll have something the day after tomorrow. I'll have something, right? But what am I indulging in? What am I in right now? Am I in tomorrow, or am I in right now? The tzaddikim, when they were alive, the capacity of their vitality, their life force, was so enormous, was so much greater than the average Yid, because the average Yid is walking around with all these things, all these tomorrows, and the next days, and the next days, and the next days, and all the planning, and it's all beautiful, it's all great. You can plan. Rebbe's saying he's not saying don't plan. Plan, but don't be there. Like what you brought up. I have a meeting next week. It's to take care of my family. Baruch Hashem. Responsible Yid. Awesome. Where are you now? So it's amazing that we've only been together for less than 48 hours, but it feels like 2 weeks already, no? Most of you met each other yesterday. It's pretty wild when you think of it like that. On these trips, that's what really hits us really, really strong. Like, the women, it's like even stronger. They can't believe it. Like, oh my God, I told you all the secrets of my life. I know you for like 12 hours, It's an amazing, amazing thing. We have 2 more days? No, we don't. We have, it's 10 to 9. I don't know what we have. We have this. We have the next nigun. We have the moment right now. And this being by the tzaddik and making a tefillah out of a Torah like this, asking Hashem on the schus of the tzaddik who said these words, that we should be privileged to be able to focus on the now, trust our tomorrows, trust our planning, that we will take care of ourselves. But right now, taking care of myself means I'm in the now. I'm in it right now. And that's how, basically, the Rebbe Nachman designed Teva. It's really coming to shleimus with the way God designed nature. And God designed our minds and our capacities to be in control. So it's a very important one, and I would say that if you have tonight a few minutes to do hisbodedus with somewhere, and there's plenty of places around here. First time I came here, I think like 20 years ago. In the middle of the night, I jumped up and freaked out. I was staying in a building down there, and it was so many less buildings. None of this existed. Nothing. Nada. None of this. Nothing. And I jumped out of bed at like 3 in the morning because I heard someone screaming for their father, like they were being tortured in a forest. But as a person who was doing his bite, was saying, Abba! And I thought it was someone like that was kidnapped or something, calling out for his father. So there's plenty of places out here to like go into a zone, talk to the Rebbe Nachman, and invite. I don't like to, when we're here, I don't want to call it mindfulness and stuff like that and meditation. I just want to say, like, invite the Hayom, invite Torah, Ayin Reish Beit, the 272nd teaching Likutei Moharan, to play more of a role in our lives. You know who benefits the most from this? Our kinderlach. Our children benefit from implementing this teaching more than anyone else. Of course, our spouse. But when our children see that we're with them when we're with them, this door, it's one of the biggest tests. Why? Because it's not phones, it's a computer. Sometimes we use it as a phone. Like 2% of the functioning is a phone. It's you're just holding a computer in your hand. So it's really what it is. So that's one of the biggest inyanim of like how much hayom is there when we're home. I have a few disciplined chevra that really tell me they keep the phone in the car, they put it away. I read in Shul this year on Rosh Hashanah how Evyatar Banai described how he's Mamlich Hashem, how he crowns Hashem king. And he says that one of the ways that he crowns Hashem king is that he leaves his phone in his car before he goes into his house with his family. That's crowning Hashem king. Because crowning Hashem king means you're taking advantage of what he gave you. What did he give you? Right now, when you're with your phone. While you're with your family, you don't have your phone, you don't have your family, you have nothing, you don't have yourself. But this can go on in all different areas, all different departments. This teaching is shaykh on so many different levels. Anyway, this is a place to daven over it, to cry over it. If there's one thing we can come home back to our families with, is the consciousness and the awareness of the gift of now, of the privilege of being awake, the privilege of being with the people that Hashem blessed us to be with in our lives. And when we daven for it over here by the tzaddik who gave us over this teaching, it's kind of cool. And it's kind of special. Okay, so we'll continue, Be'ez Hashem. We're going to learn tomorrow morning before we daven. We're davening at 7:30. We're going to learn here at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we'll daven Shachris at 7:30, okay? All right, Yeshua.